Have you ever noticed how history books make everything sound so inevitable? Like the good guys planned their moves, the bad guys reacted, and it all played out like a perfectly scripted movie. We are taught that human history is a straight line of cause and effect. However, real life doesn't have a writer's room. History is not a carefully crafted screenplay. It is a messy, chaotic string of ridiculous accidents, dumb luck, and mind-blowing plot twists that no Hollywood director would ever dare to put on screen. Because if they did, you wouldn't believe it. Today, we are going to look at the greatest plot twists in human history. And we are going to start with a war, a brutal, relentless conflict. In 1932, the Australian government faced a massive agricultural crisis. Emus were eating all the wheat. Yes, the giant, flightless birds. So the military deployed highly trained soldiers armed with Lewis machine guns. They assumed it would be a total massacre, a simple extermination mission. Yet the emus completely outsmarted them. The birds scattered, running in erratic, unpredictable zigzag patterns. As a result, the soldiers couldn't get a clear shot. The humans wasted thousands of rounds of ammunition, and incredibly, the military had to formally surrender to the birds. The humans planned a high-tech war, but nature wrote a completely different script. And the emus won. But okay, that's just a funny footnote in history. Let's raise the stakes. Let's look at an event that actually changed the entire global landscape. Fast forward to June 1914. A group of assassins plans to kill Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo. It is a highly coordinated, premeditated strike. However, the first assassin loses his nerve. The second assassin actually throws a bomb, but it bounces off the back of the Archduke's car and explodes in the street. The assassination completely fails. Consequently, the main assassin, a 19-year-old named Gavrilo Princip, gives up. He thinks the mission is completely ruined. So he walks to Schiller's Delicatessen to get a sandwich. He accepts defeat, but the Archduke makes a sudden decision. He decides to visit the hospital to see the people injured by the bomb. Unfortunately, his driver, who has absolutely no idea about the last-minute route change, takes a wrong turn into a narrow alley. The driver realizes his mistake, tries to reverse, and stalls the engine, right in front of Schiller's deli. Gavrilo Princip looks up from his sandwich, and the Archduke of Austria is sitting right in front of him in a stalled car. Princip steps forward and fires the shots that ignite World War I. Millions of lives, the fall of massive empires, the creation of the entire modern geopolitical landscape, all because a driver didn't check a map and a teenager wanted a sandwich. Now, imagine you are British intelligence in 1943. You need to invade Sicily to push back the Axis powers. Yet, the entire German army is sitting there waiting for you. So you need a decoy, but how do you fool the most paranoid dictator on Earth? Think about it. Do you broadcast fake radio signals? Do you bribe a double agent? No, you do something absolutely unhinged. The British find the body of a homeless rat catcher who tragically died in London. They dress him up in a high-ranking Royal Marine uniform. They literally chain a briefcase full of fake, top-secret invasion plans to his wrist. But what if the Germans check his background? Therefore, the British create an entire fake life for him. They fill his pockets with theater tickets, a receipt for a diamond ring, and an angry overdraft letter from his bank. They even include a photograph of a completely fake fiancée named Pam. Subsequently, they drop his body off the coast of Spain, hoping the tide washes him ashore. However, there is a massive problem. The Spanish government is technically neutral. What if they just bury him? What if the documents never reach Hitler? So, the British intentionally leak frantic rumors that they lost a highly classified courier in the water. The bait works perfectly. German spies in Spain hear the rumors, intercept the body, photograph the documents, and send them straight to Berlin. Hitler reads the fake plans and absolutely buys it. He is so convinced by this theatrical performance that he completely ignores his own generals. He reroutes an entire panzer division, torpedo boats, and thousands of troops away from Sicily and sends them to Greece. He leaves his actual target completely exposed. Therefore, when the Allies finally invade Sicily, they face a fraction of the expected resistance. They conquer the island, turning the tide of the entire Second World War. A dead man from London, a man who had zero military training and a completely tragic life, single-handedly outmaneuvered the entire German high command from beyond the grave. Let's scale it up even further. Let's look at the largest contiguous empire in human history, the Mongols. By the late 13th century, Kublai Khan had conquered nearly everything the sun touched. He sets his sights on Japan. He builds an overwhelming, apocalyptic fleet of warships. Over 100,000 elite warriors. The Japanese samurai are massively outnumbered. They brace for total annihilation. But just as the Mongol fleet approaches the shore, a massive freak typhoon materializes out of nowhere. It completely shatters the Mongol ships. Tens of thousands of invaders drown. Japan is saved by the weather. Kublai Khan is absolutely furious. He spends 7 years rebuilding an even bigger fleet, the ultimate armada. He sails back to Japan. The Japanese are completely out of options this time. But unbelievably, another freak typhoon hits. It destroys the second fleet even faster than the first. The Japanese called these storms the kamikaze, the divine wind. The Mongol Empire, a relentless war machine that crushed entire continents under horse hooves, was absolutely defeated by the weather. Twice. We love hearing these stories. We love the dramatic irony. However, if you look closely, these plot twists reveal a deeper, much more uncomfortable truth about the human psychological condition. We are absolutely terrified of chaos. We desperately want to believe that the world is controlled by masters of the universe. We spend our entire lives trying to plan our careers, our relationships, and our futures, assuming that if we just follow the right steps, we will get the exact result we want. It gives us an immense sense of safety to think that somebody, somewhere, is behind the steering wheel of human destiny. We want to believe that history is shaped by brilliant generals, visionary leaders, and flawless master plans. Yet the truth is far more terrifying, and honestly, far more liberating. History is not a game of chess. It is a casino. You can have the most advanced military tactics in the world, but a flock of panicked emus can still embarrass you on a global stage. You can build an invincible, world-conquering armada, but a sudden change in atmospheric pressure can sink it to the bottom of the ocean. You can be the most paranoid, heavily guarded dictator on the planet, but a fake girlfriend named Pam can dismantle your entire defensive line. Therefore, the ultimate plot twist of history isn't a specific battle or a secret spy mission. The ultimate plot twist is that nobody is actually in charge. We are all just riding a massive, unpredictable wave of coincidences, bad decisions, and random luck. And once you realize that, the pressure comes off. The illusion of control is completely shattered. If history's greatest empires can be destroyed by a stalled engine or a change in the weather, then maybe you don't need to have every single detail of your own life perfectly planned out. Maybe you just need to be ready to improvise when the universe throws a wrench in your gears. So, the next time you make a wrong turn, or you drop your phone, or your perfectly structured plans fall apart, don't panic. You aren't failing. You're just writing the next plot twist. Thank you for watching, and stay curious.